Are you struggling with accounting for overseas sales in your Japanese business? Today, I will unveil some crucial tips that will simplify your accounting process and ensure accurate in your financial records. Mastering overseas sales accounting, essential tips for Japanese businesses. Hello everyone, I'm Aki, a certified tax accountant in Japan with extensive experiences in international finance and accounting. I specialize in helping Japanese businesses navigate the complexity of Japanese tax and accounting. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribe to my channel in English. I regularly share insights and tips on accounting, finance, and tax issues crucial for Japanese businesses. Accounting for overseas sales can be daunting, especially for dealing with different currencies and tax regulations. Understanding the basic accounting principles for these transactions is essential for maintaining accurate financial record and compliance. So let's start with accounting basics for sales. Firstly, it's important to note that you should record the sales on the sales date when you provide goods or services. For products, the general rule is to use the delivery date. However, there are instances where you use the inspection date instead. In the B2B transactions, it's common to specify when the recognition date should be in the primary contract. It's called hassei shugi kaikei, accrual accounting. So for example, let's say you have a sales worth 1 million yen. The accounting entry for this would be something like this. 売掛金100万円、売上100万円. The debit side is called 借方 in Japanese. So on the debit side, you record 売掛金100万円, which is accounts receivable 1 million yen. On the credit side, it's called 貸方 in Japanese. You record 売上100万円, which is sales 1 million yen. As next, let's think about accounting for sales in US dollar. This is just an example of US dollar against Japanese yen. When your sales are in dollars on November 29th, checking the exchange rate is vital. The day's telegraphic transfer middle (TTM) rate would be best. For instance, if the TTM rate is 150 yen and you have a sales of $10,000, the accounting entry will be recorded like this. 売掛金150万円、売上150万円. Accounts receivable 1,500,000 yen and sales 1,500,000 yen. You use the most recent rate if the sales occurs on a weekend or holiday when the rate is not available. If the transaction falls on Sunday, November 26, you use the closest weekday exchange rate. In this case, that would be Friday, November 24th. In this case, you use 148. So, 売掛金148万円、売上148万円. Accounts receivable 1,480,000 yen, sales 1,480,000 yen. If checking the rate every time seems tedious, you can use the rate from the previous month's end or the current month's beginning. For example, you use the last month's end date, it's 147. In this case, 売掛金147万円、売上147万円. Accounts receivable 1,470,000 yen, sales 1,470,000 yen. Another approach is to use the average of the recent months or week's middle rates. You can use the average intermediate rate from the previous month or week. Suppose you use October average, it's 146. So, 売掛金146万円、売上146万円. Accounts receivable 1,460,000 yen, sales 1,460,000 yen. I recommend using the end of the month rate as it's easier to view. As you prefer to work with averages, monthly averages are preferable over weekly ones, as banks often provide these. Let's look at the rate provided Sumitomo Mitsui Bank Corporation. This is a page, and you can see each date rate. Something like this, November 1st. You can check like this. You can calculate TTM rate from this and this. You can see euro here, and other rates are there. Accounting for exchange rate changes at the time of collection. For example, if you recorded a sales of $10,000 at 150 yen, and the rate got to be 155 yen on the collection day, the accounting will be adjusted like this. For example, if you recorded a sales of $10,000 at 150 yen and the rate got to be 155 yen on the collection day, the accounting will be adjusted like this. Dealing with overseas currencies transaction requires some getting used to. Still, it's simple if you establish clear rules for accounting from the start. Keeping consistent record will make the process much more manageable. That's all for today's guide on accounting for overseas sales. Feel free to ask for my services if you have any questions or need assistance with your business's accounting needs. See you in the following video.